in the blush world, every type of color got its own recognition and has been on big trend for a certain amount of time. That includes like peachy blush, which is all-time staple for so many people, nude blushes, pink blushes, that's all the rage for maybe the past like 2 years, and purple blush. You know, even purple gets its own recognition, but rarely red blush gets any recognition, and you know, it's rarely talked about. And I was the same before, because I always thought red blushes are hard to handle. They got to be too pigmented and hard to pair makeup with it, until I found this trend on TikTok. It's I think it's either the founder or the makeup artist of RMS, and she shared, people always ask why runway models have such healthy looking cheeks and what are their secrets, right?
Actually, what people don't know is when I did Victoria's Secret for years, they had to look very natural. And you know, they had a beautiful flush of color, and a lot of people always think it's pink, but it wasn't, it was red, because what the red does, it gives that little bit of depth to it, and it looks more natural.
And she shared it's because the makeup artists were using red blushes, because it's, you know, a natural color, make the flash on your face look real. And she was specifically talking about this shade called Beloved from RMS. And when this is on trend, this video, I happen to have that shade in a little quad from RMS, and I was already loving it. And it's like what she described. It's actually very, very versatile. I didn't find any makeup that wasn't suitable for that specific blush, because if you actually really think about it, even though red sounds like such a strong color, but red is actually a neutral color, if that makes sense, because a lot of people, when they think of red, they probably think warm, but red has its own undertone, but red itself, it feels more like a neutral to me. So naturally, it just would be suitable for a lot of different skin tones, because majority of the red, it doesn't really have a white base. So no matter you're light, fair, or medium dark, the red blush is just universally more inclusive for all kinds of skin tone. And at the same time, because it's neutral, it could be paired with warm makeup, or it could be paired with cool toned makeup. So today I am sharing actually a big collection of red blush that I have collected since I have been a little bit obsessed with red blushes. And I put these into 3 categories: liquids, creams, and powders. I think that's very easy to understand, right? Let's just get right started with the liquid ones. I don't want to spend too much time here. And I will show you the application along with my explanation with this one. So actually, for liquid blushes, for the red ones, I really don't feel like there is that much of a formulation difference. I have 3. I have Apieu, I have Addiction, and I have Haus of Her. All of them are super close to each other, especially the Apieu one, the Addiction one, with the Haus of Her in the shade 02. The shade 09 is a newer shade from them, and you can find all of my swatch of this line in another video. But this shade 09 is just a way more pigmented version of this formulation. Therefore, it's a little bit different than the other 3. But the other 3 are all this super easy to blend, sheer, almost translucent liquid formulation. They are all so similar. So I think even if you are interested, one is more than enough. Just choose the one that is more accessible or affordable for you. And all of these actually blend so similar as well. They are all this very watery type of formulation and sheer, like I just said. So I really cannot tell you much of a difference between these three. It's only if you have deeper skin and you're worried that the lighter colors would not suitable for you skin tone, you might want to look into the Haus of Her in the shade 09 because it's more pigmented. For anyone else that is not looking for a very pigmented liquid blush, the other three are very much good for you. And I found these to be everything I just said in the beginning. They are very easy to blend into your skin because they are a liquid and they are mostly sheer. So no matter what skin tone you have, this likely will not make it look weird on you, no matter you're fair or deep. And because these are all just like a normal neutral or slightly warm or slightly pink red, it just doesn't clash with anything else you put on your face unless you're applying too much of a blush, right? And it's actually hard to apply too much because how sheer it is. So that's for the liquid one, because actually I think the liquid ones are the ones that's the easiest to handle, especially the sheer ones. So if you are only stepping into this red blush just now and you don't want something that's too much, I recommend the sheer ones. Even if you have darker skin, I feel like these are gonna show. It's just gonna be very subtle. And the second one would be the creams. The creams are actually a very versatile range of tones and formulations and pigmentation levels as well, because you could make the cream super creamy and slippery. You can also make it dense, right? So by manipulating the formulation, you could get different level of pigmentation, and you can also give like different types of pigmentation into it. I don't know why, like I have never used one liquid red blush that has white base, but with the cream ones I do sometimes encounter something that with a white base. So I think that could also be like a more versatile choice for a lot of people with lighter skin tone. And even if you have darker skin tone, you can find the ones that without white base. For these ones, I have something that is like a true red, like the lilybyred one. This is really a true red. This is basically a cream version of the liquid ones that we showed before. So if you think liquids are a little too much and you want a cream, I recommend this one. I think this could work on a variety of a skin tone, and it's easy because it's in a pan and it doesn't really have a white base. And for the people that doesn't really want a pure red, I have some other options as well. If you want more of a rosy, almost nudie, brownish red, I really like the apieu Joocyee Pan Jelly Blusher in the shade RD01. This is like a red but with a hint of brown in it. So again, if you are more comfortable with nudie blush color options, I think these are probably like a more wearable or easy for you to get into type of red blush. And also this canmake Cream Cheek in the shade 16. This is another one that with a tiny little bit of a brown tone into it to make it less saturated and less vibrant, so that you might think this is a little bit easier to use. Actually, we also have another one. This is from the Red Chamber brand, and this is actually a multi-usage balm. You can use it on the eyes, on the lips, and on the cheeks. And this again is like more of a brown burgundy red. And I feel like this one could be able to suitable for like a lot of different skin tone, even if you're a deeper skin tone. Even these two, like the canmake and the apieu one as well, they all don't have a white base. It just they are more of a burgundy and a hint of brown type of red. And I also have like a nearly nude red. This is probably even a stretch to say this is red, but I think it is. It's from the brand Decorté. It's BE350 from their cream blush formulation. I think this is just a nude blush with a hint of red in it, so it's like a little bit more vibrant, but it's not too vibrant that you might be like intimidated by it. Actually, like a lot of today's blush, even the fully red ones, is actually not that intimidating on your face. It's actually pretty wearable. This one is when I just want a little hint of red, but I don't really want to deal with, you know, being careful with where and how I apply this. And I also maybe want some nude tone into the blush. And that's when I choose this one. And a putty formulation, and it's not very pigmented. So this one, I think it has a tiny little bit of a white base. So if you have super deeper, like a very deep skin tone, I don't know if this is gonna work for you. I feel like these are probably best for light to medium skin tone. This judydoll one, I think this is also one of those burgundy red families, and this is a very dense formulation. So if you are afraid that you're gonna get too much product, that is possible, even though a lot of these are very easy to control. But if you get a lot of it, it's kind of like a disaster and you have to fix it. But this cream is so dense, and it's actually a multi-purpose product as well. So it's very versatile. You can layer it to make it show more, and you can also just like apply a sheer layer of it. It's again like a very easy to use product. Option for like a fair skin tone, the dual blush in the shade RD1. And this one, I have a review video of it, but because there is a pale pink side, you could put this pale pink down first and layer a little bit of this red later. That way they are gonna blend with each other, and lighter one can be at the outer edge, so it blends with the rest of your skin better, and the center has a little bit more red. Just make the overall look a little bit more vibrant and fresh. So if you have like very pale skin tone, I think this is a very nice choice. I really like this one. And that's the cream ones. For the powder ones, which normally would be the one that's the easiest to use among all of them, right, for other color of blushes. But I personally found with red blush, a lot of times they are making it like super pigmented and vibrant, and it might actually kind of like hard to use for you. So I included some super pigmented ones and some like easier to use ones for some variety today. I have this one from Joocyee. It's actually a strawberry red, and it's not extremely pigmented, but it's also not like super sheer. You use a normal amount and it wouldn't be too much for my skin tone type-ish thing. This is the Foggy on Cheeks N in the shade RD420, and this is a baked formulation. I can see there's a tiny little bit of white base, make it a little bit more of a strawberry red other than like a pure red. But I think this one could be suitable from light to medium skin, maybe even tan skin. But if you are a deeper skin tone, I don't know if the white cast is gonna show more on you than the color, but I imagine it would be okay because the white base is like very little. It's not like the whole pan is like overpowered by the white base. So I still think this is a pretty easy to use and versatile option. And whenever I want like a red blush, I think of this one a lot because I don't have to be super careful with the application, because with the cream and liquid ones you kind of have to plan it, right? You have to use it before you powder it, and a lot of times you already apply the powder. That happens to me a lot. So for a powder blush, that's not the concern, right? I just feel like this is a very easy option. Lilybyred is their Love Beam Cheek in the shade 05 French Marcella. This is another of those burgundy red, but in a pan. And this is again having a tiny hint of white base. Because it's so subtle, I imagine it wouldn't be a big deal on deeper skin tone, but I cannot for sure say that for you. So if you are, you know, really don't want any white base in it whatsoever, probably shouldn't go with this one. But for people from light to medium or even tan skin, I imagine this one is gonna work if you want a powder blush with a burgundy red tone. The last one is probably the most intense and pigmented one. So if you really have deep skin and you struggle to find a blush work for you, I think this could be your option. This is from Clio, which is one of the C Beauty brand that actually is somewhat at least inclusive, because they have shade that's rich and deep like this. And I actually don't know what the name or number is because there's no name on top of this. But this whole line, it has different pattern of packaging with every single shade, so it's actually kind of easy to identify. So I don't mind they don't have the number of it, but I'm gonna put all of the shade name or product name down below. And I just really like this formulation. Only this color is a little bit too dark for me, so I have to be extremely careful. I take a minimal amount of this with a looser brush, not the denser one, and I kind of lightly tap it on my hand first before I go on my face. That way I can mostly apply a perfect amount. But if you have deeper skin, I think this one can definitely look very pretty on you, and as you can see, it's a very neutral color. So I don't think this is gonna clash with a lot of makeup colors, you know, the makeup you are putting on other parts of your face. And I think this is gonna be very versatile if you are interested in a red blush. And I know it's a pretty quick video, but I intended to have it in that way so you don't have to watch like a 30-40 minutes long of a video only talking about one color of blush. And I know these options are highly duplicated with each other, so these are only for reference and for the fun. This is not trying to tell you that you need every single one of a red blush out there, and actually you don't even need one. This is only for reference if you want one, okay? And actually that's it. Thank you very much for watching.